So our next topic is how to design a training program. Is Jamboard visible? Please reply in chat. Is Jamboard visible? Okay. So the heading is training process or designing training program. Now, first of all, you have to identify so in designing training program, first of all you have to identify what are the needs of training. Is there any actual need? So identification of training program, training needs. So we have already covered this topic in detail. So this is that same topic where we identify whether some training is needed or not. Then second step is that we fix a responsibility group, that who are the people that we identify the people who are responsible for giving training. In a way, these are the stakeholders from supplier side, the people who will supply the training. So it is not limited to human resource department only. You have to include top management also, line supervisors also, other employees, colleagues. So you have to establish the responsibility group. So in this you can write providing training is not limited to HRD, human resource department. The specific responsibilities of top management, HR department, line supervisors, and employees should be determined. you have to include all the levels, like top management can frame the basic policy, they can approve any training program, then HR department has to make for all the training equipments, they have to plan the program. Line supervisors, they give input regarding technical knowledge, what is actually needed on ground, and other employees can give feedback, some suggestions to revise the training program. So with contribution of different levels, a good training program is actually formed. So you have to include those people and form a responsibility group. Then next step is selection and motivation of target group. So in this you have to identify those particular employees which needs to be trained. You have to identify them, select them, then you have to motivate them, because people usually resist change because everyone wants to remain in their comfort zone. So you have to develop some techniques, you have to make them aware why training is needed, how it will be done. You have to condition them for a new thing. So I gave you example of banking system, how computerization was resisted. So if at that time the target group was sufficiently motivated, then that situation could have been avoided. So it may be new or existing. Right, in this it may be new or existing, comma, skilled, unskilled, or semi-skilled. Everyone needs to be motivated. Everyone needs to be motivated for the change. Next step is that now you have to select and motivate appropriate trainers group. Selection and motivation of appropriate trainers group. These are the people who impart new skills, new knowledge. So these can be internal as well as external. So these instructors, trainers or coaches, they should be selected well according to some standards about the intended results. Then the trainer should be clear what are the desired outcomes, what are different methods available to him, and what what is the best method in this particular training group. Then next point is preparing training package. So when trainer is well briefed about her job, how many people she has to train, what methods she can use, what is desired outcome. So then she prepares a training package. So it includes, it is very detailed document, the training package, and it includes methods, contents, then you have to provide some supporting material also in form of pamphlets, booklets. So she has to design that also. Then what would be the schedule of whole training program, timings, what are the days on which training camp will be held, and then different procedures, that what is the map, what is the path of this whole training program. So everything is written to the minute details under this step, and it is a detailed outline of whole program on papers. Next thing is actual beginning of the training. It is called demonstration. So the trainer, she shows how to operate a particular machine or how to deal with a particular software. Please correct the spelling of demonstration. So a presentation is made of all the program, of all the activities, by remaining with the trainees. The trainer remains with the trainees and she shows everything by doing herself. Then after showing it, she asks few trainers to come and do that, experience the actual working. So this thing is called implementation and performance tryout. So seventh step is implementation and performance tryout. That how to implement the new methods which have been taught. So the trainees, they are motivated to do that job, those activities. The trainer observe how they are doing, under what, how much of time they are taking. So a good trainer always allow uh, sufficient time in the beginning. In the beginning, trainees can do that work slowly, and once they done and once they do it correctly, they gain confidence. Then in next round, trainer can ask them to do that work in lesser time. So she can set up some time limit by using timer and stopwatches. And also in this step, the when a trainee is doing something, when she himself is experiencing that work, so her colleagues, they can also take insights from her. So this is step in which different trainees also help themselves. Then after this, uh, when everyone is trying to do that work, if someone is facing any problem, trainer solves that. If someone is doing something incorrectly, trainer pinpoints to that mistake and those things are mended, and then training is completed. But there is one last step in designing training program, that is feedback, that you have to follow up that what you began is correct and giving the desired outcomes. So I'm writing this point on the right hand side, eighth point, eighth step, feedback and follow up. So you examine what are the weaknesses, errors, what are the defects in this whole process in imparting training. Sometimes you conclude that process is good, the way of imparting training was good, but more repetitions are needed. Or yes, it is okay that now the trainees have gained new knowledge, but it is required to follow up them, and maybe another round of training is required after 2 months or 6 weeks after a particular period. So you have to focus that on you have to focus on that also. Then you ask for feedback from trainees, because they are the people who are at the focus of all training program. They give suggestions. So this was designing training program. Any doubt, anyone?
सर डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन वाला पॉइंट समझ नहीं आया.
So in demonstration, the trainer, she shows the trainees how a particular work or the activity that has to be done. So imagine training is being imparted for operation of a new machine. So the trainer, she will work on that machine herself, that how to handle it, which buttons to press, what is the timings of pressing those buttons, which commands to give, how to stop it, how to control the consumption of raw material. So this is the actual working, actual doing of all those activities which needs to be trained. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
So our last topic in syllabus is methods of executive development. So in the beginning, when we were discussing about training and development, there was one point, the sense of which was that training It is mostly used for lower level of jobs, or it is mostly required at lower levels, and when new knowledge is imparted in top level management or the higher positions, it is called development. So by executive development, we are referring to the education, learning, and growth of the managerial post. So they require skills not only for present jobs but also for future managerial tasks, because in future, in new positions, the level of difficulty it increases, the scope of job increases. So you aim at realizing full executive potential, and this executive development is continuous process, because when your employee has reached up to higher level, some head of any department, and then she will be promoted to vice president, MD, CEO. So this is a continuous and long term process, so that each employee develops herself. Now, under the methods of executive development, we again have two kinds of methods: on the job and off the job. So, methods of executive development. So, first of all, we will do off the job methods. First one is management games or business games. So these are simulations. Simulation means when you are projecting something which happens in real world. So one example of it, this example is not related to the thing we are studying. So when pilots, they have to give test of flying any aircraft, they give it in simulated space where they have screen and they have joysticks and other things which represent them as if they are flying the aircraft in real world. So the advantage of it is that if someone is making any mistakes which may lead to crash of aircraft, so in simulation it will appear as if the aircraft is crashing really, but but now this is simulated, so everyone would be safe because there is no actual uh, crashing of aircraft. So similarly, on that principle, these business games are simulations which represent actual business situations. Now, in these situations, the trainees are asked to make decisions. So, such situations like a new product is launched by a competitor, or a new advertisement campaign has been launched by your competitor, which is targeting you directly, or there is some opportunity in the industry which you have to take advantage of. So in real world, if you have taken any decision and following upon it, so it is possible that it may prove detrimental. So the company has to incur huge loss. So instead of that, it is done under simulations. So trainees, they make decisions, and then the trainer, that she evaluates the decisions. So even if the trainees have made some incorrect decisions, it won't cause loss to the company. So under this technique, two or more hypothetical organizations competing in a given product market are assigned to trainees. So they are divided into several teams from 2 to 6 members in each team. Then they are provided with suitable information about the industry, about their own organization, and they are assigned different roles like of general manager, MD, marketing manager, and then they are asked to solve the problem, to make the decisions. So after they make the decision, the trainee comes in, she examines and evaluate the impact of those decisions. Then she gives feedback to the trainee, and it continues till some predefined result, like you have to achieve this level of profitability, you have to achieve this level of sales. So that result is achieved. Now this is more for decision making activities. Here the trainees learn by trial and errors. They develop leadership and problem solving skills. They become more conscious about the quality. It increases the quality consciousness. Then it improves their management skills, that how to reduce decision making time. You have to be quick to take advantage of any opportunity. Then they also learn by mistakes. They learn how to work in team, how teamwork is important in such crucial moments. And with all these things, they gain new knowledge. Then the next method is case study. So you might have already heard or read about this phrase, case study. In your book also, after every chapter there is one case study where a situation is given to you. It includes some information. It is not necessary that all the necessary information is given, but some information is given. Then you have to read that, and there are some questions at the end. We have to answer those questions. So if some information is not provided in that writing, so there are two options. First, you have to find out those things by yourself by researching. For example, there is one case study regarding sales of FMCG products. So in case study it is written that demonetization has been done by government, and then you have to at the end find out the impact on sales, etc. So the level of decline in GDP or the private consumption is not given in the case study, but you have to find it on your own. And the other thing is, if some information is not provided and you don't have resources to find that information, you make assumptions. So you have to write those assumptions. You have to write on what basis you have assumed those points. So it is case study is a common technique of executive development. It employs simulated decision making situation. It employs simulated decision making situation for the trainees. Described situation or problem is known as case. So such case studies are widely used during MBA courses. The students have to solve many case studies. The focus of case studies while during a training program is that how the trainee approaches to a problem, whether she has proper understanding of advantages and disadvantages of a particular approach she has adopted. The actual solution that has less importance, that is secondary. The primary objective is that trainee learns how to approach a problem. So the trainees are given a situation. It can be imaginary also. Some supportive information is provided that may be enough or may not be enough. So it depends upon trainer to give sufficient or insufficient knowledge. Then a series of questions are asked at the end of case study which require some judgment or opinion of trainee. Then trainer meets the trainees in smaller groups to discuss the solutions. So while discussing, they debate on different pros and cons, merits and merits of different options. The trainer gives feedback on positives and negatives of different approaches. So in the end, the trainee gets better decision making skills, better approaches for solving problem. It also develops interpersonal skills, strategic knowledge. So, but case studies are very expensive because to formulate a good case study, you have to research a lot, you have to spend a lot of time. You should know the historical contents also. So, this was case study. Next one is role playing. So as the name suggests, the trainee has to play some role. Now what is it actually? So under this, a hypothetical situation is created just like a drama. So the person has to put herself in those shoes. It provides insights into the behavior and its impact on others. So two or more trainees are assigned a role to play on some problem involving human interaction. So these problems can be like grievance handling, hiring people, firing means removing them from the job, how to keep workers disciplined, how to handle conflicts, how to handle strikes. So the trainee is given some role to play. Then after the role is played, uh, the trainer she discusses what were the things, what was the behavior shown by the trainee. So a critique session is organized where trainer provides feedback on different positive and negative actions taken by the trainee. She informs her about corrective measures that you could have done this, you could have said this thing instead of that. So it is very helpful in developing interpersonal skills. It helps in taking spontaneous decisions because you are just dealing with some conflict or strike and the labor union has put up some point, so you have to tackle that point quickly, you have to take immediate action. So there are some limitations, that it is difficult in crafting such duplicate roles. The drama is different from actual life situation, and all trainees are not comfortable in role plays. So next we have in basket exercise. In basket exercise. So in this, trainees are confronted with a bundle of issues, so which is known as basket of issues, which is related to their functional area. So these issues are things like report, memos, notes, and other things related to their job. So trainees are provided issues and things, and they are provided information about the role to be played. They have to respond to those issues. They have to make decision and take action within limited time. So when all the trainees have completed all the tasks given in the basket, a discussion is made by the trainer where trainees justify their decisions, that why a particular decision was made, and then those decisions are examined on different parameters, like whether it was made in given time, what is priority setting, that which issues were picked at first by the trainee, which issues were solved at first, that what is the priority mindset of the trainee, then what assumptions were made. So this process involves a very healthy competition. It develops procedural and strategic knowledge. So by strategic knowledge, we mean that what should be the priority of different problems, in which order they should be solved. So this was in basket exercise. So can we have another class in the evening? Because all the methods it is difficult to cover in this class only. So can we have one class at 4 p.m. today? Please reply in chat.
Yes, sir.
Everyone please reply so that I can have an idea. Okay, so today we will have another class at, you get free by 2:30. At what time do you get free?
Sir, 2:30.
Okay, so we will have class at 4. I have recorded this class also. So after the class I will check whether it was recorded properly, because last time there were some glitches. So I will also record that class so that people who may not be able to attend that class, they can see it later on. You can take notes from video also. So after in basket exercise, uh, the limitations. So it is very simple and inexpensive, but the problem lies in that simulated situations may be different from real life, because the pressure under which you have to work in real life, that is totally different from simulated situations. The next step is next method is brainstorming. So under brainstorming, it is a conference technique. So all the people, all the trainees, they are made to sit together. They are given a specific problem. Then everyone starts bombarding with their solutions. So in this by storm we mean that we identify or we uncover different dimensions. We try to look problem from different dimensions because everyone is asked to provide solutions. In this, in the beginning, no sol- solution is criticized. So trainees have to just give the solution. They don't have to justify it. So when after this session of brainstorming, you have various points regarding the problem from different dimensions. You have a huge quantity of solution. So after all these quantities, you try to improve quality. Now you take all the solutions one by one and you discuss about its pros and cons. Then finally you come out with some good solutions. So this brainstorming, it aims at idea generation and capacity building. It is more about creativity and innovation. So during a typical brainstorming session, just imagine a big room with discussion round table. 10 to 15 members are made to sit. A program is thrown by the trainer. Then everyone has to just start finding solutions. Solution given by one person is not debated by other. Everyone just has to bring out as many solutions as possible. So that at the end you have huge quantity of different solutions from different dimensions. Then next method is behavior modeling. So as the name suggests, in this you try to develop some sort of behavior to be displayed by the employee during some roles or some duties. For example, while handling grievance, introducing change, or building team spirit. So the focus under behavioral modeling is on manners, demonstrable skills, That is the behavior which is required by the manager to be displayed when she is with the juniors. So when objective of behavior modeling is defined, the trainees are shown films and videotapes. In that film, a model manager performing or handling a particular task is shown. Then trainees are encouraged to rehearse the model. They have to observe the traits minutely. Then when trainees are rehearsing that thing, if someone is doing it accurately, then that behavior is reinforced socially by praising the employee, by giving constructive feedback. Then they are encouraged to apply this new skill when they return to their job. So, is it clear to everyone till here?
Yes, sir.
So, we are left with 2 3 more methods. So, we will again meet at 4 p.m. and that class we will see for how long that would last. So, thank you for joining. This was for this class. You can leave it now.